kind of feel like I'm just arming it.
Just do that.
Yeah, there's probably some of that.
Yeah, and then
there's just a lot of
yeah. Okay.
So like I think my leg position is okay, but I just don't use my legs.
Okay.
That's the impression I have.
Yeah.
So, but without force plates, you can't really say that's definitely what you're doing. Or
not 100%, no.
So that's why.
So what's general shot shape, left to right?
Yeah. I have been kind of tweaking my swing to be a bit more rotational, and that's bringing in the double cross hook. I've been quite steep on the swing, which is typically adds the bit of the fade.
Yeah.
And I'm not shallowing because I feel that's just too much of a change, but just coming more round. But that brings the hook into play, which that's a new thing from recently.
Okay.
But yeah, my path going right to left is standard.
So we've got an out to in path currently.
4. That's probably more than standard, but it is almost always that direction. So
when the face is closed, you'll see that ball flight.
Yeah.
When the face is open, you'll see this ball flight. If it's too much open, you'll see that ball flight.
Yeah.
If this is happening with driver, that will cost you a lot of this, your smash factor. That will be costing you your strike. Yeah. Because that is a glancing or oblique hit. So anything that starts to get outside of 2 or 3 starts to become glancing, and it's going across the ball. Okay. So therefore, then you have to have a face that's away from the path, which is then going to start to curve the golf ball. Yeah. So you've always got to keep an eye on that with driver, and we will be looking at that, because if you want to get maximum distance out of your club speed, you've got to smash it high. You've got to be in the high 140s. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just not efficient. All you're doing is just putting more into it, but you're not getting it to the ball. Not getting anything out, exactly. So always keep an eye on this. This must be kept under that. I wouldn't have it any more than that. With an iron, you get away with it, but you got to get it under that with driver. Yeah. If you pushed it out to plus a positive into out 2 with a driver and hit it 2 up, you're pretty close to being optimal. Okay.
That's the new swing.
Yeah.
I'm not used to it yet. We've only recently, a couple of weeks ago, we're talking about it, so.
And that's where you strike it when you miss-hit it?
That one, it's the top, yeah.
And towards the hill a little bit?
Yeah, that one. The one that works is incredible. It's like 20% more efficient, 20 extra yards, and the one that doesn't is the same as my other swing, which is kind of a bit balloony. Yeah. Don't know. Just go.
How often do you hook it like that?
With this swing, about 70%. With my other swing, which is my natural swing, rarely.
Because if that hook comes out on a golf course, you're losing golf balls. Yeah. Especially with an iron. And you can't be doing that, because that'd destroy you, that type of shot. I mean, that's with an iron, with loft, that loft effectively counters oblique strike because it doesn't spin it. When you've got high loft, it's difficult to curve the golf ball. Low loft gives you maximum curves. You start doing that with a driver, it's even worse than that. You won't even get it in the air.
That's the one that annoys me. Short, right, miles in the air. And that's why we were trying to put more rotation in it to stop the...
Yes. Better, more of a positive path out to the right.
I mean,
okay, if I get you to step off the plates,
shot. I mean, that's.
If I get you to step off the plates and just want to zero them off, So the way it works with the force plates, when you're ready to swing, so once you've done your little routine of club waggle or any waggle, anything that you do pre-shot, just ground the club behind the ball and say the word ready. I'll activate the plates. It's a 3-second pause and you'll get a computer voice, double plate ready. As soon as you hear the word double, you can pull the trigger.
All right.
Okay. So let's just do a test run, just do one just to give you an idea and a feel for the timings.
Ready?
Okay, hold and plates are hold still.
Double plate
Off
ready.
you go.
Ready?
Okay, bear with me. You just hit one without, it takes me about a minute to get the video across.
Okay.
I'm good to go now actually when you're ready to pause. So hold and good to go.
Double plate ready.
That was a weird swing. I was in between everything.
Right, let's save that one because that's a good clean data grab. What's your height in feet and inches, Dave?
5'10".
Right. Hit one without the force plates and then we'll do one more with the 6-iron before we move on to driver. Okay, last one with 6-iron. So tell me when you're ready to pause.
Yep.
Okay, plates are live. And we are good to
Double
go.
plate ready.
Bit of a miss it.
Cool, grab driver. Tees are in the box, just mind your head, there's a camera on the wall, but just below the camera. That's good. Is that good distance? Or you're bringing it closer to you? Okay.
I think it's all right.
Hit a couple before we capture again. Okay, ready to capture one?
All right.
Same target between the keg and the...
Okay.
Okay, plates are live and we are good to
Double
go.
plate ready.
Oh, rubbish. What's that?
Hit one without the force plates. And again, hit one without the force plates. Okay. Want to hit one harder?
Yeah.
Okay. Hit me on full power. Get you to hold. If I get you to ground the club, so we do a force plate one on this one. Okay, ready? Hold and good to go.
Double plate ready.
Do you slip when you're practicing?
What's that?
Do you slip like that when you're practicing?
Not really.
Okay.
That was unexpected.
It was faster, considerably faster. It's gone from 107, 108 average to up to 111. So that was pretty good. Get a good injection of speed. Right, ready to do another one?
Yep.
Okay, hold and plates are ready.
Double plate ready.
Right, hit one more without the plates.
Oh wow, right off the bottom.
Just to, I mean, if we put this up on here, that's your strike sort of hot spot. It's quite a lot out the toe, quite low. That's going to create, that will create a gearing effect on the ball, which will create a hook. And you're going to start to spin it quite a lot when you're below this horizontal line as well. You'll get higher spin values down here.
Right. So
you're getting hook and high spin, so big hook. It's the biggest hook you can hit.
Yeah.
So that's a major problem. That.
So I'm actually almost too far away from the ball.
You're coming back to the golf ball further than you started. Doesn't necessarily mean you're too far at the start, but when you return to the ball, you're further away from it. You're this way through the ball.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of that way through the ball.
Okay.
6-iron again, we can see the hot spot appearing in the toe. So all of your shots, you're toeing, low toe.
Right.
Your path is generally left.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of guess that would be the same. I mean, that was decent path on that one, but...
Yeah, cleaner with the driver. I didn't realign the TrackMan to get a good path value. But the tendencies are going to be the same.
It's still going to be a bit left. I mean, I think it's always going to be a little bit left.
So let's look at the two swings. I actually get you to, so a little study I'm doing at the moment on grip strength. I'm just going to get you to, basically this measures how much pressure you can apply through your hands. So I'm going to get you to squeeze this once with the right hand as hard as you can for about 3 seconds, then let go.
Okay.
And we get the read in. Then I'll reset it and then we go again. So we get 3 reads from the right hand, 3 reads from the left hand.
Do you want me to take the glove off for that, or does it not make any difference? Okay.
So squeeze it as much as you can, 3 seconds. Tight, 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 tight. Let go. What does that screen say? 42.
42.1.
Okay. And then start is the reset. Good to go. That's a better one.
47.7. .1.
Okay, switch it over.
.48. I didn't really hold it though.
Left hand is generally the strongest. I've only been doing this test for a couple of days, and left hand is the stronger one. Is always the more powerful hand. Interesting. Hence why we wear a glove on that hand, right?
42.8. .38.
So the fastest player I've measured so far, which has got a club head speed who can get up to around 140, has got 73 grip strength.
I would
40.
I would put money on the fact that my brother could probably do 60 or 70, 65 or something, and he hits the ball harder than me.
So you're 42 to 48. So effectively, you think about you're trying to move that handle as fast as possible. If you can't hold it strong enough, you're not going to swing. You can't. It's a bit like having a Ferrari with an old set of brakes on it. You've got an engine, potentially. The club can go that fast. The body can go that fast, but the brakes can't stop you. Yeah? You can't get it. You'll never get it out to the club. So you definitely got to, from what I'm seeing already, even faster, I'd say average tour, I've got readings between 59 and 61. Long drive, I've got north of 65 and 70.
Okay.
And I'm looking at even just mini tour players, anything from 50 to 56.
Okay.
So you need to get into the 50s
so
if you're going to get to 115.
So like my speeds are higher than what I should be typical, but I just can't hold it.
You're struggling to produce consistent speed, and also from a face squaring mechanism, your face squaring ability is going to be compromised at speed if you're very weak gripped.
Huh. Okay, interesting.
Because obviously you've got to lever this club, but you've also got to twist it as well. So there's a combination of lots of kind of multiple kind of levers working here in different planes. I'm moving it this way, but I'm also trying to twist the crap out of it.
Yeah. Well, I went for the big grip.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I went for the big grip was because I felt that I was squeezing so hard that these muscles were over-engaged just from holding the club.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't have to squeeze so hard with a bigger grip.
Yeah.
So then those muscles theoretically can do other things.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is a concept that makes sense to you.
I mean, scientifically, nothing's been proven with grip size yet.
Okay.
Okay, so there is nothing out there that we know of. It is more of a feel thing for the player. I mean, it feels better in the hands, it relaxes the hands, but there's nothing scientifically proven in accuracy and speed yet.
Okay, interesting.
Bryson's doing quite a lot of stuff regarding grip. He's fascinated by it.
Yeah, I mean, these are his grips.
Yeah. So, but from that perspective, what you need to be you should do an accuracy test with a normal, a mid-size, a jumbo, and then that's a super jumbo. Yeah. You should really take all four and do a performance test. So that would be, you know, make sure it's a 6 or a 10 ball test, a fairway 50 yard wide, which you're going to be playing to on an average golf course, and see how many fairways you can hit.
Well, I have a fitting on Monday in Malaysia with one of the tour fitters out there because I need a new fairway wood. So I thought, why not just do it while I'm there? And I could ask him because I'm sure he'll have bazillions of shafts in a fitting centre.
What you could do is then just take that shaft out and try some different grips and shaft combination.
I'm pretty sure he'll have the standard hazardous shaft with a normal grip. So I might ask him about that.
Just do a test. It'll take you 5 minutes, no problem. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at...
Interesting. I thought... yeah, I mean, I've never had the best grip. So... like strength-wise, especially versus like my brother or my dad who's a physio, his grip strength is super strong. Yeah.
I mean, you'll get a stronger grip by lifting, but if you don't like lifting and going to the gym, you need something like something that's going to help you create grip strength, or a sponge ball. There's some new grips from Super Speed coming out, which you actually can, it's like a sleeve you put over your existing grip and you can squeeze it. You hold it on your club and you can squeeze it, so it's got some resistance to it, and then you can just slide it off and then hold your club. So actually it's a good training aid with your club weight, which is very interesting because you're putting it on your club, so you're holding your club weight and then squeezing it. It's not
just a generic
so it becomes a golf specific, doesn't it, because it's your club weight.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. I've got some samples of that, so that'll be available from Super Speed. I think they're out fairly soon. If they're not out already, the samples we're getting sent out, Lee and I. And that was the reason why I wanted to get this measuring tool, just to start to look at grip strength. Yeah. And it already is within a couple of days. Unfortunately, obviously, I have a lad that could swing at 140 yesterday. But, you know, an ex-European tour player and a mini tour player yesterday as well, just looking at, and I'm quite weak, I'm 49 to 50. So I know I need to get more. So hence why I'm going to start doing more, because I just want to see, I'm not a gym goer. I quite happily do stretches and resistance bands and kettlebells, but I ain't standing in the gym and pushing weights. It's just not me. And I'd never expect somebody to do that. If you don't like it, don't do it. But little things like that are just simple.
Yeah,
a little sponge ball. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, even having in your carry bag, in your travel bag, and just always doing that with your sponge stress ball. Yeah. Just that all the time. Get your hands stronger.
All right, interesting.
It'll help. Again, these are all little bits, aren't they? They're little things we can do.
Yeah, just
very
improve.
Simple little minutes a day. Yeah. That just give you little 1-2%ers, and we add them all up. All of a sudden, we might even have 5-6% added to the total.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so your gamers on the left-hand side. Your faster ones on the right-hand side. Obviously, gamer I had today between 107 and 108. Your faster one was 110 to 111. So there's 3 or 4 mile an hour in the tank, which is good. So you're able to create more force. You'll be able to move that club head faster through ball.
It just looks so narrow. Like squashed.
Yeah.
Tight. There's no arm space there, it's just in.
This is one of the reasons why you start to hit the bottom of the club face. There is such a big tilt back angle there. The pelvis is not open enough. The chest leans back. You're hanging back quite a lot with the upper body.
I think that's to force myself to hit the ball up, but...
Yeah. I mean, you'd need to that tee. Immediately, you just stick a bigger tee in the ground and you start hitting it higher in the face with this tilt angle that you've got. So you could adjust that just to help you find the centre of the face a bit more.
Okay.
The narrowness through the golf ball, is that a bit of an issue? Maybe the way that left arm and the wrists are working through the golf ball, because that left arm breaks down quite quickly and pulls across you.
Well, if it's that narrow, you don't have a choice, really.
You just look at that there. Look how much you've turned your hands over, pulled the club across, and still leaning back.
Yeah.
The most stable face motion you can make is a chest turning, arms
Straight.
staying relatively close to the chest or in front of the chest. That is the most stable club face.
Yeah.
When the chest stops turning, the hands have got to do something more. So the hands take over.
Yeah, and
the chest is turning and tilting. It needs a balance of both, tilt and turn. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because it's extending, but as it's extending, it's tilting, but then we must have it turning.
And it doesn't turn. I mean, it's
not turning.
It's not turned at all.
It's not turning. It's trying to tilt, but you've not got the blend of tilt and turn. Not enough turn in there with that tilt. I mean, you've got tilt, haven't you? You've got this lean back angle, but you're certainly not getting that left shoulder up and behind you now.
Well, it's going that way, but only because of the stupid angle. Like, actually, it's a straight angle, but I'm just over here, so it's...
And it's very late, isn't it? This is where the chest really starts
and it's already
to engage
gone.
again.
The ball's, like, way gone when it's at the angles where it kind of...
So, your centre of mass, which is your COM, that blue sphere in the centre of the screen, it shifts over towards the trail side. It goes up, which is all good. You then begin to shift your pressure, which is the base of the red arrow, over to the left side. Could it go over more? Definitely. You don't get your COP, your centre of pressure, over to the left enough. So it then stays quite close to your weight. So it's a bit of a weight and a pressure shift together.
Right.
Instead of a pressure shift away from the weight. So you're not over to your left side enough at this point.
At this point on the top of backswing?
At this point, no, downswing. We're in downswing now.
Oh, I'm already
You're
coming
not
down.
over to your left side enough.
All right.
Okay? So you're over to your right.
I just never come
That
back.
pressure shift there is just not enough.
It just never comes back.
No. So your COP, the bottom of this red arrow, should be over here by now. Should be over here.
Right.
This red arrow, instead of it kind of going up this part, that should be over here at this point.
Okay.
There should be a bigger lateral, bigger bump of the pelvis.
Right.
Bigger, slightly bigger chest move, but definitely bigger pelvis move.
Okay.
Your vertical force is 184, so that's 1.8 times your body weight. It peaks around here. So actually, from a force perspective, it's okay. Tour players, 170 with an iron, 200 with a driver. They're the second fastest people on the planet. Long drivers over 200. Yeah. So you're at producing a good amount of force, and your timings of it are quite good as well because the shaft's near vertical. So that's okay.
Okay.
Your ability to push forwards as you push downwards is the amount of forward force with the downward force is quite low.
You mean forwards as in?
No, towards the ball.
This way?
Imagine you had a pair of shoes that were 2 sizes too big. Slide in the front of the shoe, the left foot through the front of the shoe.
Okay, well, I don't think there's any force in that.
Yeah.
I don't.
So you create roughly the same amount of forward push as you do backward push with
no
the
torque.
trail foot. So if I open this bottle, I've got force this direction and force this direction. So in golf, that would be a ground reaction force. So if I push through my trail foot this way, the ground helps me go that way with the trail. If I push that way through the lead foot, the ground reaction gives me this. You're equal with that, where actually you want 2 times more from the left. So that may well be because you don't get enough left foot vertical force.
So if I push more with the left foot anyway, then it should force it round.
Well, if you push down, part of that you will also get some forwards and some outward force as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah.
So if we were to say you really need 200% or 2 times body weight vertically, that would give us 20, if we could get 20% more out of the lead foot to add to that 180 to give you your 200.
Well, I think that's possible because
If
I
we
don't
get your
feel
pressure
like
forwards
I'm
enough.
really, I said I don't feel like I'm really using my legs that much. So I think if I can work out the exact point of pressure, then I think I could get something in there.
Yeah. So if we got more out of the left foot, more into the total, vertically, and then as we get more out of the left foot, we get a bit more forwards as well.
Right.
So for me, it'd be more, you know, you can use these kind of shift boards or, but I'd be going, really trying to go
And is it down force
down
I need?
and forwards.
It's the down force that I need?
Down is the most. Okay. Down is the first part. You will get free of charge some forwards and some outwards as part of it, but down's the biggest component of force. Okay. The total force, we want the down bit. So it's more...
a stamp. Stamp right down, okay.
So we got to go from top of backswing to very quickly applying a ton of pressure to the left foot.
Right.
So if we did that, just put this here.
Yeah.
Square that up. Go wider. Okay, put your arms across your shoulders. Okay, go up to the top. Hold. Okay, now go left. So it will be a lot of body to start with.
Sorry, just shift it back so I know, see what I'm doing. So.
Nice and wide. Go up to the top, full shoulder turn. Now go left. Yeah. I'm not so bothered about the down bit. Don't bother with anything after that. All I want you to focus on is a shift to the left. Turn to the right. Shift to the left. Okay, and again.
I still need to go further over though, right?
I want you to do it with pelvis. Don't try and lean your chest or your head over your left shoe to cheat it. Do it with pelvis. Slide. Yes. And again. Yep. Yep.
So, do I stamp down before I shift my pelvis or after?
Shifting the pelvis is part of the stamp down move.
So that is a one.
Pelvis starts it.
That
pelvis triggers
stamp
the movement down.
Okay.
You can't stamp down without the pelvis. Otherwise, you're doing it with your chest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be pelvis that slides to start the stamp down.
Okay.
There's a sequence and an order of movements. It's pelvis first, then
first.
foot second. Yep.
That's foot first. That's weird.
Grab the driver. Yep, good. Up to the top and then shift. What are you thinking?
Feels like I'm almost twisting the wrong way with my hips.
When you say twist, what do you mean by twist?
It almost seems like I should be going this way, but I'm actually going this way.
What, when you're trying to bump?
As I'm bumping, I'm actually...
Yeah, there will be, your hips will be less turned to the right when you bump, but don't think they ever get open during that bumping phase. They're never going to get open, it's too far. You're 45 degrees turned to the right. When you bump across, you might lose 10, 15, maybe 20 degrees of rotation.
Well, that's okay then.
Yeah.
Right.
So you will still be turned to the right when you do it. If you think you need an inside path, you probably want to keep your shoulders and your hips closed longer if you want an inside path. Because if you start spinning out of it early, you're going to get an outside path.
Right.
Yeah? So you really want to stay closed longer if you're going to change your oblique hit across the ball to the left.
But actually that will... And because then I'm going to be there longer, so actually it should... That should all...
Yeah, if you stay closed...
It will leave me closed longer.
If you stay closed... and it'll help you swing out to the right, which is what we need for the driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you stay closed and then speed up coming into impact, you'll be faster through the ball, won't you? If you speed up, spin out really early, you're going to lose your rotational power and ability through the ball, aren't you?
But actually that...
So if you kept that rotation ability until the end, you could turn your chest through better, which we said, and keep your width and radius of your arms away from your chest.
Well, then I have to hit it right.
Yep.
Interesting.
So really you should be trying to stay more closed and get pressure left.
Pressure left. Yeah, because I'm going to come in a different angle.
Yep.
Interesting. I'm going to hit one. So, pressure left, hit bump, see what happens.
Okay, look on the video before we rush to get the next ball, just to see whether you've done any of the movement. Remember, feel and real will be polar opposite. Secondly, it takes 2,000 repetitions to learn a move. As quick as you want to hit a golf ball, we may get a bit in there. That's better. That is better. See how much your pressure's gone forwards now?
Yeah, it's way over.
So that's better. Then we push up through that left side. Path shift 6 positive out to the right.
I mean, that's from 2 negative, that's a massive shift. I mean, I'm a little bit right anyway. Look at my feet, that line, but
that's good.
still very handsy, but
It will be. Taking the hands out, that's a 6-month project, honestly. That ain't going to happen overnight.
yeah, I'm
If we get some good lateral movement,
but
and hit
the
from an
main thing
inside
I'm
path,
coming here for is to try and do legs, because that's
Yeah.
your specialty.
So we're better already. It looks like you're better here as well. On the
Here?
backswing, it looks like you're better. You're less lateral and swayy off the ball with your pelvis and legs on the backswing. It looks like you're closer to centre.
Okay, interesting.
So it's probably because you were trying to self-organise and get left earlier.
Yeah.
It kept you more centred.
Yeah, because if I'm trying to keep left, then I can't get right.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the other one, yeah.
so that actually is night and day. Straighter leg, bigger turn, and importantly,
Less.
turning the right hip away from the toes instead of swaying the right hip over the toes.
All of which are exactly what I'm trying to do, or theoretically trying to do, and I've just done it from one, not even thinking about that, not thinking about hip rotation, not thinking about...
Grab your camera and point it at the screen so you record this, because I need you to see this. That's how the legs should look. Can you see that? Can you see the TV screen? Hold your camera up to the screen. So that video on the right hand side, your right hip has moved away from that vertical line in line with the middle of your toes.
Yep.
On the bad swing on the left hand side, your hips have swayed away. Look at the left foot.
Yeah.
So you've lifted the heel correctly, but you've not banked it in and collapsed to the left leg.
It's a weird angle
So
on that left.
if you video me, you're basically doing, on the bad swings, you're doing this, aren't you? That's going that way. This is going across and around. On the better swing, you're as much more like this, more in the centre. This hip goes away from the toes this way, not across the toes that way.
Yep.
And that was you just trying to bump. I didn't ask you to change your backswing.
I know, I wasn't doing anything backswing based, it was just...
So that's where when you video yourself, you must look like that with your legs and your pelvis. That's a non-negotiable.
Right.
That guy on the right-hand side, you must have that before you attempt to do anything else, because that starts the correct cycle and sequence of movements. Everything becomes, you've got to now sway back. You've gone so far off it. How'd you go forwards when you've gone so far off it with your legs?
Yeah.
Your pelvis is 18% of your total weight, or your centre of mass.
And that's why we were saying before, it just never got back.
Never got back. It can't.
It can't.
You go to the lateral border of your foot, you roll your feet over, you slide your pelvis away.
Interesting. And I wasn't even, I was just doing something else, and that's all theoretically better.
So
That's
this
crazy.
Something like this, you buy some of these. Again, these are your little 1%, right? And again, you have them and carry them around, right? So these little things you can do. This is the thinner one. The next one up is they come in different sizes, but that's twice the thickness, right? So this one's a good one to move on to. But you start with this, place it over the mid part of the foot. Put it over your right shoulder, and then stretch.
Stretch through it. Yeah.
But look at the structure of my legs. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's easy. That
So
one.
it's
I'll give you
left,
the hard
left
one.
leg?
Yeah, over the midfoot of the.
Of left.
Yeah, and then put your right foot through it and stick it over your shoulder. Wrong one. Left shoulder. Yeah, right shoulder. That's it. Good. So
Like
go into
that?
golf posture.
And then
Up. Yep. Go on, turn. You've got to go 90-degree turn with the shoulders. Good. And again, 90-degree turn. Yep. It takes you a stretch from the left foot all the way up to the right shoulder.
Yeah.
Stretch across diagonally across the body. Try that one, it's harder. Then after that we go big boy.
so right foot through it, and then
Over the right shoulder.
like that.
Now this gets hard. Golf posture. Up and around. Full turn. Yep. Slower. Good. Slow's good because it's going to give you a good stretch in the muscles. Yeah, very nice. Keep going. And again. Slowly.
Just getting the camera shot so I can see what I'm doing.
Very good. Full shoulders, 90 degrees. Good.
Have I still got weird lean when I'm doing it, even with this position?
When you say lean,
Like
what do you mean? Well, leaning
tilt.
towards the target.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So it's less important on this.
You don't want to lean to, you don't want to reverse spine angle.
Yeah.
You should actually just have a vertical or slightly right spine angle. So
Okay.
you probably feel you will just want to stretch more in that direction with your chest, not your pelvis.
It feels like I'm going like that. Am I going like that?
Occasionally you do get a little bit of a reverse tilt in your spine, yeah.
Okay.
So you really want to be. So this isn't, again, stop, don't allow any sway, so stay strong here. This is to take the rib cage away. Yeah, good. Good.
Like that.
You do that and then bump. Go up to the top, hold, bump. Good.
That was not right at all.
Bump. Good.
That was a leg movement. That wasn't a
No,
hip
it's better.
bump.
I'm still okay. Still had some pelvis. Up, bump, pelvis. Yep, good. Could probably isolate the pelvis a little bit more from the chest. Yep.
Like more of a, yeah.
And again. Up, round, bump. Very good. So the important thing here then is that there is no bump into that side. There's a turn away from that and then bump towards the target. Yep. And again, do that again. Don't let the head move as you bump the pelvis. Don't move this. Don't move this up here. Stay behind it with your head and bump your pelvis. Up to the top, bump the pelvis. Yep.
Okay.
Understand? All it is this otherwise. A sway, isn't it? With the chest. I don't want chest sway.
Yeah.
Pelvis bump.
Okay.
Okay, up to the top. Yeah, good. Make sense?
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff I've been posting on social media. I've been using those kind of these silhouette cutouts, but when you look at Rory, look at the pelvis.
Oh yeah. You can see it.
That's magic, that. And the spine lean back away from the target helps him hit it on the up.
Yeah. I see exactly. Yeah. It makes sense. You can see exactly.
There's your pressure left, weight back.
Yeah.
Because the chest is your weight, the pelvis is your pressure. So he bumps up to the Jenga.
And his hand doesn't. His
Tower
head
there.
doesn't move. Just
Bumps it with the
straight line as
pelvis,
well.
but he's not trying to knock the Jenga tower over with his left shoulder.
No, he's using his hip to knock it over.
That's going to be a new post for me. I'm going to make a taller Jenga tower and say bump it with the hips, keep the left shoulder behind it.
Makes sense.
So it's all about, for you, stretch, turn, bump. Stretch, turn, bump.
Yeah. Think it through my head. Makes sense, yeah.
That's good leg work. The right leg slightly extending, the left leg slightly bending, the pelvis staying in the middle of the feet, the right leg pushing the pelvis across the feet.
Okay, I have to try and feel that right leg pushing it across and not just this.
Yeah, it will be you'll recruit your right leg anyway.
Yeah.
You will recruit it. You can't move your pelvis without the right leg push.
Okay. But it just feels like there's some of this
dancing,
and that's
Elvis
obviously going to
hips.
help. But if you can actually force it across, then you're adding power, not just moving it and moving it. If that. Yeah.
Yep. But you do need to do this, enough of this in the mirror, so then you're aware of that sway.
Yeah.
And the more I take my rib cage, it's not as if that's a good. I wouldn't want you going over there with the rib cage, but a little bit of stretch to the right with the rib cage is good.
Right.
Do it in the mirror so you can see it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I think it makes sense, but obviously it's not going to come in immediately. So
No.
It's
there's training to be done. I mean, we've got another hour, so we're going to be doing
for sure
a lot of training now. Just rehearsals. I'm more interested not in the golf ball hits. I'm more interested in what you do before you hit a golf ball. Because the golf ball is like a test. It's an exam. So you'll get a result, but are you changing anything in the exam?
Yeah.
No, you're just getting a result to your test. Your revision is where you make the change, is where you learn. So it's your practice swings that you're changing your swing. So I want to see good 3-4 good
practice swings.
Well done practice swings. Good, well coordinated practice swings. With a centered pelvis, with a stretch up through the body, and with a bump of the pelvis.
Right.